Work assignments. A more detailed assignment policy will be provided to you later. For now, one important thing that you should know is that all assignments will be coming from us through the production tracking team, or production tracking at babbletype.com. Now, once you decide to report to work for a particular day, you are going to email production tracking at babbletype.com and ask for an assignment. Please remember that jobs are already available as early as 3 p.m. EST or 3 a.m. Philippine time. Production tracking is always available 24/7, so reach out to them whenever you want to work. The average audio minutes for every file assigned is 30 audio minutes. This is a very manageable audio length even for a new contractor. We are confident that you will be able to finish this audio length in no time. Production tracking will be giving you a deadline for every file or work assigned to you. If you have difficulties meeting the deadline, email them and try to negotiate. The important thing here is that work assigned should be finished within the same day. If you need to take a break, always inform production tracking that you are taking a break and when you will resume work. Email is not the only way to communicate with production tracking. Skype is another key tool that we use for communication purposes. In fact, by now, I think it is safe to say that you already have a Skype account since you are already in this orientation program. So always remember that communication is key to everything. Production tracking is available 24/7, so always reach out to them. Never abandon a file without informing us. That's really a mortal sin in our company. We may allow it once, but if we happen to observe this on a consistent basis, then definitely you're out. Now, what's your category? You know that we have two kinds of work here in Babbletype, transcription work and editing work, or what we call audio auditing. As a starter, you are only allowed to do transcription work. As you go higher, depending on your performance, access to audio auditing work will be given. We currently have 4 transcriptionist tiers here in Babbletype. Tier 1 is the starter tier, and all transcriptionists under this tier are called drafters. All newly hired contractors like you will go directly to training, and all trainees will all be under Tier 1. Tier 1 transcriptionists, or otherwise known as DE, are only allowed transcription work. Audio auditing work will be granted only to Tier 2 to Tier 4 transcriptions. So let's try to go into a more to look into each of the tiers moving forward. So Tier 1 transcriptionists or DE are otherwise known as drafter. All newly signed contractors will be undergoing 1-month training and will be classified as drafters or Tier 1 transcriptionists or DE. So right now, you are a drafter or a Tier 1 transcriptionist. Tier 1 DEs are responsible for transcribing standard normal files and less challenging standard special files. Now, as to the degree of which is normal and which is challenging will be determined by our downloader, Maridel Zerna, as well as the production tracking team. Now, only transcription work is allowed. Now, for Tier 2 transcriptionists or DE, they are also otherwise known as standard DEs. Tier 2 DEs are responsible for transcribing standard special files, more challenging ones. They are also responsible for audio auditing or editing of all Tier 1 DE failed transcripts. So if your transcript failed quality review, it will be sent back to production and audio audited by Tier 2 DEs. Now, Tier 3 transcriptionists or DE is otherwise known as the advanced DE. Tier 3 DEs are responsible for transcribing more difficult standard special files. They are also responsible for audio auditing, editing work of all Tier 2 DE failed transcripts. Transcription and audio auditing work are allowed. Now, Tier 4 transcriptionists or DE is otherwise known as expert DE. Tier 4 DE are responsible for transcribing files tagged with special accents. They are also responsible for audio auditing of all Tier 3 DE failed transcripts. So transcription and audio auditing work are allowed. Now, what are these special accents? Occasionally, we receive files with respondents that have British accent, African American accent, and sometimes Southern American accents. We consider these accents as a bit challenging, especially for us non-native contractors. So these are only assigned to Tier 4 DEs, those that are really good and are really experienced. Now, category rates. Now, we always want our contractors to grow, and along with that growth is an opportunity to earn more. This is the reason why higher tiers will have higher earning power than lower tiers. We believe that good performers should always be rewarded. We don't want you to be stagnant. We want you to maximize your potential. So Tier 1 drafters, since they are only allowed one type of work, transcription, will be given the following rates. If the file submitted passed quality review, then the rate is automatically 20 cents per audio minute. However, if it failed quality review, then the rate will only be at 17 cents per audio minute. So always be careful. Try to pass all files you submit so that you can maximize your rate for that particular file. Now, the rates for Tier 2 or Standard DE are as follows. Since they are allowed two types of work, so let's start with transcription. So if they submitted a transcribed file and passed QA review, the rate is 25 cents per audio minute. However, if it failed QA review, then the rate will fall down to 20 cents per audio minute. Now, what is the audio auditing rate? So for an audio audited file that passed QA review, the rate is 15 cents per audio minute. But if it failed QA review, then the rate is 10 cents per audio minute. So if you're assigned to do audio auditing, let's say a 30 AM file, then it passed QA review, then you submit it and you pass QA review, then that will be 15 cents plus times 30 AMs. And that will be roughly around $4.50. Now, if it failed quality review, then you'll get instead of $4.50, you'll be getting around $3 for it. So always be conscious with quality. Try to pass all files submitted. Now, Tier 3 or Advanced DE rates are as follows. So transcription work, for a passing file, it's already at 30 cents per audio minute. But if the file failed quality review, then it's 25 cents per audio minute. Now, for audio auditing work, the rate is even higher. For a file that passed QA review, it's 20 cents per audio minute. Now, if you audited a file, then it failed QA review, then it will drop to 15 cents per audio minute. Now, for the Tier 4 transcriptionists or the expert DEs, here are the rates. So for the file transcribed that passed QA review, the rate is 40 cents per audio minute. So it's quite high. But if it failed, it's still 35 cents per audio minute. Now, if a Tier 4 DE submitted a file that he audio audited and it passed QA review, he will be given a maximum of 30 cents per audio minute. If it failed, however, then the rate drops to 25 cents per audio minute. So imagine reaching the Tier 3 stage where transcription work is 30 cents per audio minute. If you're able to finish transcribing just 60 minutes of audio a day, you'll be able to earn around $18, or around 750 pesos for just 8 to 9 hours of work. Now take note, category rates may change over time when Babbletype finds it necessary to ensure business continuity. So always refer to this appendix when for category rates or for transcription and audio auditing.